I'm now going to continue my video series on Henry Ward Beecher and his sermons with a message from Solomon. Now, Solomon said that there was more hope for a fool than a conceited man. So who is a fool and who is a conceited man? A fool is a person who knows that a road is flooded and yet tries to drive his car across the road. A fool is someone who tries to grow crops on soil that he knows won't grow crops. A fool is someone who thinks that the lottery will finally get him out of debt. Now, an educated man can be conceited, but he can also be very knowledgeable and possibly just opinionated. We are not to confuse healthy confidence with conceit, nor are we to confuse people with a general positive attitude with conceit. These people are known as sanguine. A very good example of sanguine is Thomas Edison. He was very sanguine when he invented the light bulb. Now, not all courageous men are conceited. After all, if we have no courageous men, we wouldn't have police officers and firefighters. A conceited person is a person who has an overblown opinion about his abilities. They are often the subject of the bantering of other people. Conceited people feel forced to prove their abilities on a regular basis, and their self-esteem drops when they fail to prove their abilities. They often live self-centered lives. This is reflected in their conversations. They possess a form of narcissism. This kind of vanity can be emotionally crippling, but it is not the kind of conceit Solomon is talking about. Okay? The kind of conceit Solomon was talking about was when people have a know-it-all attitude about a topic that contradicts wise, established facts. They will say things like, "If birds can fly with feathers, so can I." No one can argue the existence of hot air balloons, gliders, kites, and even airplanes. These are sound scientific ways to fly through the air with the greatest of ease. But no one has successfully flown by using nothing but feathers. Yet conceited people may put themselves in great peril trying to prove that people can fly using just feathers. Okay? Now, another form of conceit comes from young adults questioning God-approved authority. They say that the rules of parents are so old-fashioned and out of date. They often laugh and brush off helmets, knee pads, and elbow pads before they ride skateboards or bicycles. They often cave into peer pressure. They think they are invincible. Even if you prove to them that certain things can harm them, they brush you off and pursue the danger. This is one kind of conceit that Solomon was discussing in his little presentation, shall we say. Okay? Now, some people become discontent performing a rudimentary job. They seek adventure and excitement. They think they are smart and cunning enough to handle the extra excitement. They move away from everything they have ever known and eventually find themselves in a life that they never counted on. This is another form of conceit that Solomon is discussing in this Bible passage. Okay? Another form of conceit comes in the form of God can be mocked. Let's use drag racing for an example. Many years ago, drag racing was a popular fad. Many of its participants thought that God wouldn't allow them to be harmed as they raced their vehicles. They even dared God to try to stop them. Some of these participants ended up in a morgue. Others had their careers ended with permanent injuries. God will never be mocked. Putting God to the test is a very bad form of conceit. Another form of conceit is when people think that their peers won't discover their sins. They say things like, "No one will ever discover that I earn more money than they think I earn," or "No one will realize that I gamble part of my paycheck," or "My girlfriend will never know that I'm secretly dating another young lady." God doesn't help you keep such secrets. Your peers may not know what your activities are today, but they will one day realize what you're doing. Imagine what they will say when they realize what you're really doing. Okay? Now, this includes people who attend sporting events or watching movies at a local cinema on Sundays when they refuse to attend church or refuse to spend any time with God. Imagine how God feels about this. But the worst form of conceit is religious conceit. People believe that because they pray to God, read the Bible, and attend church every Sunday, they can still consume alcohol in bars without becoming a public drunk. They delude themselves. God doesn't give you the strength to consume alcohol and not become intoxicating. He gives you the strength to stay away from alcohol completely. Now I will cover another form of religious conceit. Many people read the Bible and memorize its contents, but they are convinced that there's nothing in the Bible that can assist them. Okay, let me try that again. Many people read the Bible and memorize its contents, but they are convinced that nothing in the Bible can assist them in their current perilous situation. That's because they never apply That's because they never apply the teachings of the Bible to their daily lives. They never learn how to properly communicate with God. They never learn patience and compassion. They never learn how to present Bible doctrine correctly. So of course the teachings of the Bible don't assist them. So to believe that the teachings of the Bible won't assist people when they never apply those teachings to their everyday lives is a form of religious conceit. I hope you see where I'm going with this. You can learn all the things you want to, but if you never apply it into your life, it doesn't help you. See what I mean? But the conceit is, they say, well, it's never going to help me, so why try to apply it? Well, why don't you apply it first and see if it does help you? All right. Well, that's all I've got to say for now. I thank you very much for watching this presentation and bearing with my stuttering and my stammering. And I hope you have a great week and a very Merry Christmas. Okay, this is Ted the Speed Learner signing off, and I want you to continue to stay tuned.